2022 is here, and Marvel Strike Force is in need of some changes to improve the game for the better. And in this video, I'm talking about my biggest wishes for Marvel Strike Force for this year. We're also talking about some community wishes as well that I think everybody would want to see changed. And we've also got some honorable mentions that we're discussing that would be nice if it was implemented this year. So we're talking about all of those guys. And if you're ready for the wish list 2022, it is here. Find that like button and let's go smash it.
ValleyFlyin.
Valley Maniacs, I hope 2022 has been treating you good so far. In this video, we're describing what else we wanted from 2022, what we want from Marvel Strike Force in 2022. I've got my wishes. We've taken a poll from the Valley Club this morning about some things that I think the entire community could agree that we want in Marvel Strike Force this year. And then we have some honorable mentions that we're going to discuss as well for some things that would be nice if they changed this year. But if they didn't, would not be the end of the world. So without further ado, before we get into my list, I want to describe what everybody would want in Marvel Strike Force. So I'm going to go over these real quick. More resources. I think everybody could use more resources. Depending where you're at in a game, that resource bottleneck may be gold, maybe training mats, maybe ions, maybe something else, but more resources. Everybody wants that. I think everybody, including the devs, would want less bugs, less crashes, everything correct in the game, including the buffs that are described, the buffs that are actually detailed in battle, the debuffs, eliminating the bugs, reducing that, or even better, eliminating them altogether, making it a good game that works as described and that everybody could play without it crashing. Confirmation before you spend cores to purchase things, maybe not for your energy, your ISO 8 and everything like that, but everything that you purchase in the store should have a confirmation button. That's something that community's requested for a long time now. And yeah, I guess it makes Scopely more money not improving this, but maybe long-term, a happy community would spend more in that. So that would be something very nice to change. Red Star system, the entire system is bad, but let's start with getting rid of the Elite Store. And once you have the silver and gold promotion credits, we could upgrade our characters. It takes so much work just to get to silver and gold, and then having another layer of RNG, having that store, waiting for the character that we want to actually pop up in the store instead of upgrading them immediately. That is something I would want to see happen in 2022. But let's go further. Let's give more gold and silver promotion credits. When it converts, let's increase that conversion rate for red stars. Let's start with that. There's a lot of other changes we can make to red stars, but let's just start with that. I think everybody would want a teal gear war orb, at least everybody that is finished with Dark Dimension 4, pushing for Dark Dimension 5, and having that teal war gear orb in that store would eventually help everybody in the community. I think that is eventually coming, so that's not one of my wishes, but yeah, I think everybody wants that. And then more challenges of level 85. That is what I would want to see. I think the entire community would want to see. We've had the level cap increase. Why have the challenges not been increased? All right, but let's start with the list. First on my list is, let's start with my list. API. I think everybody would want to get some kind of implementation, not having to use Mantis or some other third-party tool to get your roster information onto msf.gg. Earlier or late last year, Scopely announced that they bought msf.gg, so hopefully this opens up the way to a full API. They've had API on msf.gg for a little while now for certain elements, but hopefully this is what the community wants, sharing our roster with our alliances, sharing it with everyone, having our gear be totally updated so we have like an inventory of how much gear we have. That would be very, very good. All right, next, let's go into the game right now and show you some of my orbs here. Do you see these blue gear orbs? 930 of them. These purple raid gear orbs, over 1,000 of them. I have no intent to open them because I don't want to open them one at a time or even 10 at a time. Let's get a slider in the game. Let's stop all this silliness in Marvel Strike Force. This is something that's been needed for over 3 years in the game, a slider. So you could open all of your orbs at once. You could open maybe 16 of them. Maybe I want to open just 30. Have a slider that lets me choose how many of these to open instead of 10, 10, 10, and put it on every single thing in the store. If I want to open all 100 red star orbs, might not be the best thing, but give me that choice. I want a slider to open all button. All right, and speaking of resources and alliance stuff, let's allow us to share our resources with alliance members. Now, for endgame players, this won't help us directly, but this is going to help newer players that are kind of going in an alliance that's a little harder than what they can do with their roster. You could kind of help your weaker alliance members catch up to you. This is a great catch-up mechanic. I would want to see this implemented, even if this won't help me. Long term, I think this will help everybody, no matter where you are in the game. So I think this is a good thing. All right, let's go to save squads, because this has been a bad thing in a game. Not just save squads, just the entire way that you complete your team. Because if you start a team now, you start with the person in the center, then you're going to the sides, and then you're going, it's a very weird system how it's implemented. Instead of 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, this is 2022. I mean, this is something that should have been implemented in 2018. Drag and drop functionality. If I want to change this team, if I want Adam Warlock to go here, let me just drag him here, actually with the edit button, but drag and drop. I mean, team positioning has needed this functionality for a while. Save squads has needed this for a while. Why not bring Marvel Strike Force into the current century and give us some drag and drop functionality? I would love that. All right, other things. We want to farm certain nodes. We want to farm certain pieces of gear. Let's go here. For example, for myself, I need this piece of gear right here. This superior health catalyst part. I want to farm this every day when I have additional resources. Well, why not allow me to favorite this piece of gear, or favorite a node that I could farm every single day, that I don't have to go to this roster screen, or I have to memorize which node on heroes that I need that certain piece of gear on. Let me favorite that so I could just go to those, farm those every day. It makes it so much more easier. And we talked about red stars, how trashy that entire system is. Well, this has been something that's requested for a while, but I think a lot of this has been requested more and more since the web war is opening and all the trashy orbs that people got. I mean, people spend a lot of time to get this elite 6-star orb, only to have some people get a trashy minion, removing all minions from all of these elites, all of them. All the elite 4s, no minions. They serve no value in the game right now. They were initially brought in to Marvel Strike Force for fodder, to expand our rosters, to have a wider roster without having some of these more iconic characters in. Well, now is the time that we're getting a lot of these iconic characters, and it even seems that the devs are having a challenge to find space to release all the characters that they want. So remove the minions. They're not important. Get us more characters, put more characters in here, and remove the minions. Keep the characters in here, remove the minions. It is trash. All right, let's go to another small wish list of mine. This doesn't really affect the gameplay, but costumes that were implemented last year, avatars do not match. This is not a big one on Nick Fury because he looks similar, but on someone like Captain America, different costume, should have a different avatar. It's a nice quality of life change that I hope they would implement in 2022. It's been requested in 2021 when they implemented costumes, and I guess when their framework was originally built, it wasn't designed to have more than one avatar. Hopefully this is something that they can fix in 2022. All right, the big thing that I want to see implemented is this: the Greek raids. They've been pretty trashy for a while. The rewards have been very mediocre for a while. Those orbs have not been updated in a long time. Let's get this whole Greek raid system implemented or reworked. Let's get some other characters available with those tags so we could go into these nodes. Let's get that in the game. I would want to see that. These beta raids, these gamma raids. You know, it's not a fun system. It's a boring system. A lot of these raids, I was a very big fan of these Doom raids, especially after the first couple of months. But after playing this for many months, doing the same exact nodes, no RNG to make these nodes a little more to add some variety to these nodes. There's nothing than that. We're playing the exact same things every single day. let's rework this and let's add a sim button to all this. I mean, after you beat these raids, let's say maybe 30 times, no issues, you should be able to sim it. You know, I don't know if that should be tied into an alliance or if that should be tied to each individual, but being able to sim these raids, especially with these new game modes coming to Marvel Strike Force, I think spending less time here getting these resources and being able to sim a lot of these raids, maybe not for Doom, but especially for these Greek raids, being able to sim it would be important. And let's extend that sim to Blitz as well. Instead of just going to the next person in your roster or the next team in your roster, hitting sim again, just sim all. Maybe we'll win some, maybe we'll lose some. Just have it go through all that check all at once. It's kind of like having a bot do it for you, but you know, Blitz, especially with the new tower mode coming, or the new tower mode is here, Blitz just doesn't seem as important. This may be the last release. Hopefully this is the last new character release, spider-gwen, Ghost Spider, this Thursday. So hopefully Blitz gets less and less important. And yes, or something, this was mentioned in the past. If you do certain tasks on these raids, if you're able to complete these tasks, maybe completing in a certain amount of time or complete with no deaths, using something like that, once you get certain stars on each of these raid nodes, you can sim it and fully sim it. So maybe that is the system to do it, or beating it a certain amount of times. I don't care what they choose as the metrics to when you unlock Blitz sim, but having that in there is important. Now let's talk about the raids even more, because we've been missing a tech team for a while. We have 2 bio teams right now. We have a few different selections for the mutant section. We have Axeman. We have some hybrids that sort of work, maybe not in the higher levels of Doom 2, but in the earlier stage of Doom 2 and Doom 1, hybrid teams are able to work. Mystic is solved. Skill is solved, sort of. But tech, we've not had a solution since these raids were launched. We had no real great tech characters, no real great tech team. We have Kestrel and Doom. That's pretty much it. They're not a team. So tech solution would be something I'd want. And last but not least for the raids is an auto start button. How many times have your captains and leaders been, oh, I'm a little late, and your raid started late? Well, what if you guys could start your raids at the exact same time every single day on a timer? That is something that I think would help a lot of captains and leaders manage your alliance and make it a lot more fun, and not have to be forced to log on at a certain time as soon as the raid ends to start the new one. Just have it auto. That would be a nice change for 2022. This has been trash for a while, has not been looked back on and redone for the longest time, but this Ultimate Store has been trash for the longest time now. This inception of getting shards for a character that you already have, then opening this orb and getting this trash ultimates for more shards, for more orbs. It's just a bad system, does not feel good. This needs to be changed. And these orange catalysts, this is not a good price for this anymore. Opening 5 ultimates orbs, which are usually going to be trash, but give you a slight chance of getting some shards that you could actually need, or getting 1 orange catalyst orb, which is so devalued in the game right now. This needs to be updated. And so does this, the Blitz orb. Oh, so awesome. We can get this purple gear. I mean, that is so valuable if this was 2018, but this is 2022. We need orange. We need teal gear. This needs to be updated as well. So old. Let's go to this tower mode, because there's a few changes I want to see for tower mode. I, in general, like the game mode. I know there's some people that don't, but I think it's pretty obvious when you have characters on cooldown. I want to be able to sort by that cooldown. Same thing for Blitz as well. Make it easier for forming our save squad teams. A couple other things that I would want to see, though, having that tab section for this tower mode, that would be something I would want to see in 2022. And an additional difficulty, making an easier difficulty for people that don't have larger rosters, that haven't been playing for a while, that can't beat an Eternals team like this. Maybe making an easier version so that newer players aren't missing out on a lot of those rewards as well. And that is my wish list. I know it's a long wish list. There's a lot of things I would want to see in the game. Hopefully most of these things are implemented by Scopely. Now, I do want to discuss my honorable mentions. This is a highly requested from the community. An apology for Thanos giving. Personally, I'm kind of over it. I think a lot of the community's over it. I think they sort of apologize without really apologizing in some of the interviews, but the community still wants an apology for that, an official apology. Update to the achievement awards. How long has Hulk been in there? Sean Dugan even mentioned Hulk in there, so that's an honorable mention. Not the worst thing if it's not implemented, but yeah, I would want to see that. Old events returning as catch-up mechanics would help newer players, so bring those back. Change ISO 8 at this screen right here. When you get to this screen, if I want to fight these Eternals right here, let's say I want to change that ISO 8 on file level, the ability to do that easier is another highly requested thing from the community, and is one of my honorable mentions of things that I would want to see. More collect all button for challenges, dailies. We have that already in some of these battle passes, but extend that to other games modes as well. All our challenges, dailies, just claim all of it. More keys to recover recruitment. I know recruiting's been hard for some alliances, especially with Heroes for Hire and the Greeks and the Silver Surfer milestones in 2021. So if recruiting's hard, more keys to help with launching raids. And more campaign difficulties would be awesome as well. We have one difficulty for the campaigns. Many games offer harder difficulties for more rewards. That would be great. And then seeing cooldowns before a raid node. So that was it, guys. Those are some of my selections. Those are some of the obvious ones and some honorable mentions. What do you want to see happen to Marvel Strike Force in 2022? Is this something on the list? What is your top 5? Is it something not on the list? Let me know, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. We got more Marvel Strike Force content coming in 2022. So hit that subscribe button, hit that like button if this video was helpful for you, and hit that notification bell so you know as soon as a new Marvel Strike Force video goes up. Have a great rest of your day, guys. We will be back tomorrow. We'll be back on the stream as well with the Valley Club in the morning on Twitch. So hopefully you can join us there. Amazon coins, guys, if you want to save 20% off all of your in-game purchases, make sure you use Amazon coins. Give me that Hulk fist bump before you go. Have a great rest of your day. ValleyFlyin out.